Stop scrolling. Donald Trump just lost a massive emergency court battle. And what I'm about to show you is going to change everything you thought you knew about the next 72 hours. This happened less than 11 hours ago, and a federal appeals court just confirmed that Trump's immunity claims have been rejected. The very defense he's relied on to avoid accountability is crumbling, and the consequences are about to hit harder than ever. But here's the twist. This isn't just another legal loss. This is the beginning of something much bigger. This is a turning point. And by the end of this video, you'll see why his team is in full panic mode and why the countdown to accountability just got brutally shorter. Stay with me because the next few days could change everything we thought we knew about his future and ours. Now, let's break this down. Trump's legal team just hit a massive roadblock, and it's not just a one-off setback. Less than 12 hours ago, the D.C. Circuit Court did more than just deny his emergency appeal. They went nuclear. They issued a unanimous decision, all three judges agreeing, with explosive language that can't be ignored. They said Trump's efforts to hold on to power after losing the 2020 election were unprecedented in our nation's history. Think about that for a second. This isn't just about politics. It's about actions so severe that they've crossed every line we thought was sacred. This court's ruling is a clear message. Trump's conduct isn't presidential. It's personal, and it's not protected by immunity. But here's where it gets really dangerous for him. Prosecutors in 3 different jurisdictions are now moving forward at full speed, and the timeline is closing in fast. What does that mean for Trump, and what's next for all of us? Keep watching, because the clock is ticking, and what happens next might just change the course of history. Here's the claim. Trump's legal strategy has just collapsed, and it's worse than anyone could have predicted. Remember when I said the immunity defense was crumbling? Well, it just completely fell apart. The D.C. Circuit Court didn't just reject Trump's immunity claims. They made it clear that his actions were private, not official. That's a huge distinction, and it gives prosecutors a clear roadmap to press forward with charges. But here's what's really shocking. This isn't just about one court ruling. The court sent a message that Trump's conduct in the face of losing the election has never been seen before in American history. That language is powerful, and the legal implications are even more explosive. But notice what's missing here. No one, not even Trump's biggest defenders, can deny the gravity of this ruling. His defense is slipping away, and the clock is ticking. So what happens when his legal options are exhausted? Stay with me, because it's about to escalate faster than anyone expected. Now things are escalating fast. Remember how Trump thought the Supreme Court would swoop in and save him? That didn't happen. His emergency appeal to Chief Justice Roberts, hoping for a pause, went absolutely nowhere. Roberts stayed silent. So did Justices Alito and Thomas, his own appointees. And that's where things go from bad to worse. Trump's last safety net has completely disappeared. The court didn't even wait for oral arguments. It was a quick, unanimous decision, and now prosecutors are free to press forward. This isn't just one bad ruling. This is the normalization of a legal strategy that could have devastating consequences. If we look back at history, no former president has ever faced simultaneous criminal prosecutions in multiple jurisdictions. Nixon resigned before he could be charged. Clinton wasn't criminally prosecuted, but Trump, he's now fighting to avoid being the first former president to face criminal trial while running for office. And if his legal team can't get their act together, that might become a reality. So what happens when the court doesn't blink? Keep watching, because the storm is just beginning. Now, this is where it really gets intense. The evidence against Trump is piling up, and it's not just speculation, it's rock solid. Just a few hours ago, a bombshell hit. A federal judge has locked in a trial date, and the clock is ticking faster than ever. Trump's legal team sees the witness list, and it's a nightmare. Mike Pence, Mark Meadows, Cassidy Hutchinson, former insiders who know everything. And don't forget the documentary evidence, the emails, the texts, the call logs, and worst of all, the video footage from January 6th. All of it paints a devastating picture. This is no longer about defending political maneuvering. It's about defending actions that could lead to prison time. And here's the game-changing part. Trump knows he can't fight this with his usual tactics. His response? A nonstop barrage of Truth Social posts calling it all election interference and attacking the judge. But here's the line that changes everything. When Trump says, our country will face problems the likes of which we've never seen, that's not just rhetoric. It's intimidation. It's obstruction. And every single post he makes is now becoming part of the evidence trail. He's digging his own hole, and fast. So what's next? Keep watching because the situation is spiraling out of control. The pressure is mounting and it's all starting to collapse in on Trump. Multiple developments are happening simultaneously and they're stacking up faster than his team can handle. First, you have Washington, D.C. locked down. Security is at an all-time high. Capitol Police are on alert. New barriers are being erected around the federal courthouse, and law enforcement agencies are coordinating across the country. This is day one, and it's only going to get more intense. The next major court hearings are just days away, and the legal timeline is brutal. Judge Chutkan has invoked the Speedy Trial Act. Trump's trial is now scheduled to start in just 70 days. The math here is brutal. 28 days until the D.C. Circuit issues its full opinion, 45 days until trial motions are filed, and then 70 days until the trial begins. This is not a delay tactic. This is real, and it's happening. What happens if Trump can't stop the legal machine from moving forward? The clock is ticking, and this legal wildfire is only getting started. Stay tuned, because this is where it all starts to spiral out of control. Now let's talk about you, the people this affects. This isn't just a political story. It's a real-life crisis that could change everything for everyday Americans. If Trump gets convicted, it's not just his life that's at risk. Think about the ripple effect. The trial isn't just about legal battles, it's about the stability of the country. Imagine the chaos that could erupt if a former president is convicted while running for office. The world is watching, and so is law enforcement. But here's the human impact. You're living through a moment in history where the system is being tested in ways we've never seen before. If you think about the consequences of what's unfolding, this could mean the unraveling of norms that we once thought were unshakable. If this feels familiar, if it's something you've seen building over time, drop a comment below, because the reality is we're all about to face a turning point, and the stakes couldn't be higher. But let's step back for a moment. What's really going on here? Why is this case so different from anything we've seen before? It's not just about Trump. It's about the very systems that allow this to happen in the first place. The truth is there's a machine behind the scenes, a mechanism that's been moving in the background this whole time, and it's finally coming to a head. This isn't just about one man's actions. It's about the system of power that enables this kind of behavior to exist without immediate consequences. The courts, the justice system, the media, and even political pressure all play a role in this. Trump has used these systems for years to protect himself, to shield his actions from scrutiny. But now that the immunity defense has collapsed, the game has changed. The system is being forced to react in ways it never has before. And this isn't just a story about a criminal trial. It's about whether we can trust the institutions that were meant to keep us safe. This is the moment when everything shifts, and the truth is nobody really knows what comes next. Now, here's where it gets even more unsettling. There are two potential futures ahead, and both are filled with uncertainty. On one hand, you have the possibility that Trump's legal team somehow manages to delay this entire process. Another appeal, more motions, more stalling, but there's a catch. The longer he delays, the more the system pushes back. The other path is far more immediate. A conviction. If that happens, the consequences will be unprecedented, not just for Trump, but for American democracy itself. A convicted felon running for president. It's never happened before. This is the part that's terrifying. No matter which direction this goes, everything will change. The question is, how far is this system willing to go? Will it let him off the hook once again, or will it hold him accountable for actions that threaten the very foundation of the country? And here's the kicker. The clock is ticking. In the next few weeks, we'll see which path this story takes. And trust me, either way, it's going to be a roller coaster. And now, the big question, what's the deeper truth nobody's talking about? This isn't just a legal battle. It's the end of an era. The D.C. Circuit's decision has shattered the idea that former presidents are above the law. That protective wall that kept them out of criminal accountability is gone. And what happens next won't just shape Trump's future. It will reshape the entire balance of executive power in this country. For decades, presidents have relied on political norms, public perception, and institutional deference to avoid prosecution. But now, those shields are gone. What we're witnessing is the collapse of that protection. And once it crumbles, there's no going back. The trial isn't just about legal exposure. It's about exposing a system that allowed this to happen for so long. And if Trump goes down, the system will be forced to reckon with what it's become. The next 70 days will decide whether we still have the institutions to hold power accountable. So here's my question to you. Are we prepared to face the consequences of what happens when a president is held accountable? Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning. And trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.